What is probate? You might hear or read a lot that the point of estate planning is to avoid probate. Probate is simply a court case. Every state has their own probate court system where a judge says who is in charge of an estate. So if you pass away, who's in charge of making sure that your assets go to the heirs who are legally entitled to them? It's also the court system to make sure that if someone who is a minor child or incapacitated adult has someone else that a judge has selected to be in charge of that person's assets and that person's medical decision-making because they can't legally make those decisions for themselves. One way to think about probate is that it's a plan, so to speak, for those without a plan. If you haven't done estate planning to avoid probate, you're leaving it up to a probate judge to figure out who's in charge of your finances if you're incapacitated, who's the guardian of your children if something happens to you, who's in charge of getting your assets gathered and inventoried to pay your creditors, and ultimately distributing what's left to your heirs. That's where a probate judge is having to fill in the gaps if you don't have your own plan in place. It is a court proceeding. When your family members or loved ones have to go through probate to help you or your estate, they get a case number. It's just like any other legal proceeding in court, and those court records are public, and a judge is deciding things along the way. There are mandatory fees involved that get taken out of your estate, so it can be very costly. Probate is not a must when it comes to estate planning. You can avoid probate with a proper estate plan if you sit down to actually put these things in writing ahead of time. But to the extent that any estate planning you did online or any do-it-yourself plans missed a few key components, or to the extent that you didn't do an estate plan at all, then probate will be required to fill in the gaps for your plan.